The old house creaked. Shadows stretched, long and hungry, as the sun dipped below the horizon. A chill wind whispered through the trees, carrying the scent of something ancient and unknown. Emily shivered, a sense of unease settling upon her like a shroud. It was just the wind, she told herself, just the house settling. Yet deep down a primal fear stirred within her. Something was wrong. She could feel it in the stillness of the air, in the way the shadows seemed to dance. Emily hurried inside, locking the door behind her with a sense of finality. She needed to feel safe, secure, but the feeling of unease persisted, a low hum of dread in the pit of her stomach. "Whiskers, come here, boy," Emily called, her voice echoing in the empty house. A small, fluffy kitten with eyes like emeralds emerged from beneath the sofa. He was a recent addition to her life, a rescue from the local shelter. He was adorable, playful, and a source of constant amusement. Holding Whiskers close, Emily felt a wave of comfort wash over her. His soft purr was a soothing balm to her growing anxiety. He was a beacon of light in the growing darkness that seemed to be enveloping her. "You're all I have, Whiskers," she whispered, burying her face in his fur. Little did she know, her words would soon ring truer than she could ever imagine. The scratching began subtly. Faint noises at first, easily dismissed as mice or the old house settling. But the sounds grew louder, more insistent. They always seemed to originate from behind the walls, from the dark corners Emily avoided. Whiskers, usually playful and energetic, grew withdrawn. He would sit for hours, staring at the walls. His emerald eyes narrowed, a low growl rumbling in his chest. Emily tried to ignore it, to convince herself it was just her imagination. One night she awoke to the sound of her own name whispered on the wind. It was a guttural rasp, chilling her to the bone. She sat bolt upright in bed, her heart pounding in her chest. Beside her, Whiskers sat, eyes glowing in the moonlight. He turned his head slowly, fixing her with an unblinking stare. Days turned into weeks, and the strange occurrences intensified. Objects moved inexplicably. A cold draft followed Emily from room to room, even on the stillest of days. The scratching behind the walls became relentless, a constant reminder of the unseen menace lurking just beyond her perception. Whiskers, once a source of comfort, now filled Emily with unease. His emerald eyes seemed to burn with an unnatural light, and his playful demeanor was replaced by a chilling intensity. He would follow her from room to room, his gaze unwavering, his presence a suffocating weight on her chest. One night, as Emily lay in bed, she felt a weight on her chest, a suffocating pressure. Opening her eyes, she found Whiskers perched on her chest, his glowing eyes inches from hers. Terror, cold and paralyzing, gripped her. This was not her beloved pet. Something sinister had taken its place. The storm raged outside, mirroring the terror that consumed Emily's heart. Lightning flashed, illuminating the room in a blinding white light, and then she saw it. Whiskers, bathed in the eerie glow, began to change. His small, lithe form contorted, growing larger, more grotesque. His emerald eyes blazed with infernal fire, and a horrifying snarl ripped from his throat. The once adorable kitten was gone, replaced by a creature of nightmares. Its fur bristled, sharp as needles. Claws, like daggers, extended from its paws. Its teeth, now elongated and razor-sharp, gleamed in the flickering candlelight. The smell of decay, of something ancient and evil, filled the air. Emily screamed, a primal shriek of terror that echoed through the empty house. But even as she screamed, a part of her knew it was already too late. The next morning, the storm had subsided, leaving an eerie calm in its wake. Sunlight streamed through the windows, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. But the house felt different, tainted by the horrors of the night before. Emily was gone. The only evidence of her ordeal was a ripped nightgown discarded on the floor, and deep scratches marring the furniture as though carved by claws far sharper than any earthly creature could possess. The air hung heavy with the lingering scent of decay, a chilling reminder of the nightmare that had unfolded within those walls, and somewhere, out there, in the shadows, Whiskers lurked. His emerald eyes, now burning with ancient power, watched, waited. He was no longer a pet, but a predator, forever bound to the darkness he had unleashed.